I am boiling hot right now, WhatCulture, because we have just experienced the hottest event of the summer, known as Summerslam, or Superslam. Remember that time that dude called it Superslam? Because WWE sometimes get people onto the show that know absolutely nothing about pro wrestling. Thankfully, nothing like that happened during SummerSlam 2018, apart from the fact WWE only went and exceeded expectations. I thought this was a really good show, especially because if you go back and watch my predictions video, I believe I got 10 out of 13. Yeah, there's a couple of provisos in there, like, with Samoa Joe, but we'll get to that. Either way, SummerSlam 2018 in the books. You're watching me, Simon Miller, here on WhatCulture. What to do? Let's up those downs. Before we get into things properly, you may have noticed in the Brock Lesnar-Roman Reigns promo video, there was a little sign front and center at one point, and yeah, it was a sign for ups and downs. That gets it up. Also, thank you to everybody that does bring a sign. It blows my brain every time, and maybe this is a bit of foreshadowing into the future. Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Simon Miller. If you take all of that and put it together and we became a team, we could be Broom or Broom. Doesn't work. Moving on. Moving into the pre-show though, and we have to start by giving a down because it was indeed Andrade Cien Almas and Zelina Vega taking on Rusev and Lana, and the former beat the latter like they were a pair of tomato cans, and I hate tomatoes. Down. Kind of basic this, with the real story coming before the match when Rusev told Aiden English, "You don't need to get involved here, pal. This is nothing to do with you. Stay in the back." And he did, and Rusev, they still lost. There was some shenanigans in the sense that when Vega did indeed roll Lana up, she put her feet on the ropes, bad guys taking advantage, cheating to win. But come on, Rusev went all the way from the WWE title picture to opening SummerSlam on the pre-show. If that doesn't hurt your soul, if that doesn't hurt your gut, if that doesn't hurt your heart, you ain't human, man. I'm gonna cry right now, right? If I could cry, I lost the ability to cry in 1776, but if I didn't, I'd be crying right now. But I'm up for Cedric Alexander versus Drew Gulak. Yeah, up. It was nothing super duper amazing, but it was pretty damn good, and both guys were allowed to get their stuff in. Cedric got the win after a surprise cradle on Gulak, and that was a bit weird, because I was like, wait a minute. That was the exact same finish of the last match. But before they got to that stage, they'd done all these cool reversals, so that made it okay again. Also, that Spanish fly that Alexander does. Booyah. Another up for the B team winning, as it meant the pre-show was coming to a close, and in my predictions, I was 3 for 3. That makes me pleased, but either way, yeah, B team retained their titles, I'm alright with that. Up. As ever, this was built around the idea that Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas can't actually win a match unless it's by fluke, so yes, once again, it was a fluke here, and I will say this, it's fun for now, and this was fun too, but WWE, you cannot do this forever. Eventually, it's going to run its course, and the people will turn on the B team. The Revival were pretty much in control the entire time, but then yeah, Axel accidentally fell onto some bodies or something. He got the win, and that was that. We put a line under the pre-show, we'll never see that again, it's in the past. We get to the big guns. And that was Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler opening up the pay-per-view, and that was a magnitude of loveliness. Don't know what that means. Up. In true, I do believe we're wrestlers and we know what we're doing, thank you very much, fashion, Ziggler and Rollins started off slowly but then built to a crescendo in order to get the fans more invested in their bigger moves. That's exactly what they did, and I like this. Mostly because, yeah, that is what wrestling is. You start slow and you build, the graph goes that way and everybody's happy. The real nonsense was happening outside as Drew McIntyre and Dean Ambrose kept getting involved for their respective corners, and that must have wound up Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler no end, because it's basically like they were the parents of these two idiots that kept running amok. Like, if you were a wrestler and this wasn't predetermined, you wouldn't want them out there. You'd be like, would you guys shut up? Daddy's trying to work. Anyway, it did finish after kid number 2, Dean Ambrose, hit kid number 1, Drew McIntyre, with a DDT on the outside of the ring, and that allowed Papa Seth to hit the curb stomp. 1, 2, 3, we've got a new Intercontinental Champion. This was just a very good contest, and yet it was the perfect way to welcome us to SummerSlam. I sat there and I was like, I'm ready. I'm ready for like 6 hours of joy. But it was joy. A Bella Twins promo followed, so they're back, and there were a lot of hints here that yes, at the Evolution pay-per-view, it just may be Ronda Rousey versus Nikki Bella. You do with that whatever you want to do about it. Now, I'll give it an up because we don't judge here on ups and downs. We always give things benefit of the doubt, but definitely keep one eyebrow cocked because it's going to be interesting. Then the Bludgeon Brothers had a kick-ass match with the New Day. This was a genuine treat, with both times using the time they had perfectly, and by that what I mean is they didn't have much time, so it was all-out action from ring bell to the time the damn thing was finished. Xavier Woods even hit an elbow drop onto the floor, and that must have hurt like hell. It hurt me, I didn't even do it. Big E and Xavier had it won, or so it seemed, because then Eric Rowan remembered, oh yeah, wait, I've got a massive mallet, a massive hammer on the outside, why don't I get it and just hit a bunch of dudes? That's what he did, and the Blood Brothers got DQ'd, but they retained their titles. Now that gets it down for everything we're about to get into in a minute or so, but still, this was good, very good. And also, thank you to Xavier Woods. He tweeted me and he congratulated me on becoming a wrestler. Think of that. What a weekend I've had. Brilliant. And then it happened. I said this would happen in my predictions. I used my brain and I worked it out, so boo me, boo, boo, because I'm part of the problem. However, with all that said, Braun Strowman versus Kevin Owens is getting up. A small part of me did want to give this a down, but I can't because I would become a hypocrite. I can't come on these videos and whine and moan that, oh, WWE does 50-50 booking all the time. Sometimes they should just pick a guy and let him run riot, and that's what they did here. It just sucks that it meant Kevin Owens had to be used as collateral. But all that happened here is that Kevin Owens came out, Braun Strowman came out, and then KO bumped his ass off for the Monster, who won in around about 2 minutes. This was the definition of a squash match. Braun Strowman now looks really strong, which is what you want from your guy with the briefcase. And given what happened at the end of the night, which we'll get to, you can't say that this didn't tick all the boxes. If I could, I would draw boxes in the air right now, and automatically you get a pen from like Magic Place, and you start ticking them. I'm just a fan of Kevin Owens, so I always want to see him fly, but we'll wait and see what happens on Monday Night Raw. But if that was too much and he didn't get it, yes. Braun Strowman retains the Money in the Bank briefcase by beating Kevin Owens in around about, I don't know, 110 seconds, 115 seconds. It was very short. Which brings us to Becky Lynch versus Carmella versus Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's title. And before all this, I'd expressed a lot of concern, a lot of worry that WWE were thinking about turning Becky Lynch heel, and that would be crazy because she's just so damn likable. Now, I don't actually know what they did do here. We need to see what's going to happen in the weeks and months, but up. Basically, it's the finish that we should focus on, although huge props to WWE because all the build and all the storytelling you've done for this match meant as it came on, I was really intrigued and I really wanted to see what was going to happen. As it turned out, Charlotte was going to win after hitting the natural selection on Becky Lynch, but she only did that after Lynch had Carmella in the disarmer, so essentially Flair stole the win. Kinda, not really, but kinda. After some teasing this was okay and even a little hug, Becky Lynch decided, no, this is not cool, I'm not happy with this, and she started to kick the behind of Charlotte Flair, including chucking into a barricade and across the table as the fans lapped it up and went bonkers. Charlotte even got booed. I'm not sure how that makes any sense. She didn't do anything wrong, but I don't care. This was pure fire from Becky Lynch, and I can't wait to see what happens with this feud. There's proper narrative here, and I imagine we'll get a big blow-off match at Evolution. Where's my magic marker and tick boxes again? Then it was AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe for the WWE title, and we always knew that these two were going to have a good match, even if it is going to get a tiny little telling off in 1 second. It was just more evidence of two premier workers showing they know what they're doing, because they started off really slow before they exploded with rage into your face. I've done it again. That's the second time this weekend I've made innuendos. I don't mean to make innuendos, still, they went big. Samoa Joe kicked out of the Styles Clash and also got thrown into the steel steps and K'd up a little bit bloody, and you can completely believe that these two hated each other, especially when the Samoan one spied AJ Styles' family. For you see, when he did, the challenger went up to Styles' wife and kid and said to them, I know I told you daddy's coming home, but he's not. Don't worry, I'll be your new daddy. I mean, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? What a fabulous heel Samoa Joe is. What an asshole thing to say. I also cheered that. What does that say about me as a human being? It was just so good. I went, yeah, that's right. You talk to AJ Styles' wife and say that you're going to be the new father of their child. That is so weird, but I cheered. This enraged AJ, which made sense to the point he lost his mind and he hit Samoa Joe with so many chair shots, he got disqualified. Now that actually sucks a little bit, because that's the exact same finish we saw in the tag team title match. All we did was switch out hammers and bring in chairs. Didn't hurt anything though, because AJ Styles finished all this by hugging his wife and kid. What a babyface hisses, as Samoa Joe realized what was going on and looked like he was about to kill someone. So this feud could continue and actually wrapped it up in a lovely little package, but still, repeating of the same finish we don't like that here on Ups and Downs. Elias popped out afterwards. He went to do his set, but then his guitar broke. And that was that. There was no Bobby Lashley. They did this, like that John Travolta thing. pointless. Down. A huge up for the Miz and Daniel Bryan though, because I just like this feud, even more so because before the match started, the B team got in the Miz's face. He was all like, go do this for me, go do that for me. Like, we don't work for you no more. We're the tag champs. Now go out there and get your ass kicked. That's right, Bo. That's right, Curtis. You give your former boss sass up. This was actually a little more than even I was expecting. The story here being that no matter what the Miz did, Daniel Bryan was always the better wrestler, but because the Miz was so tenacious and didn't want to give up, they had a nice back and forth contest. Bryan also did a drop kick through the ropes, which gave me the fear because I worry about his head. Why I need to worry about Daniel Bryan's head, I don't know. And he also kicked out the skull-crushing finale. So, things were ticking along nicely. As I had hoped, the ending saw the Miz cheating to win because he can't beat Daniel Bryan with wrestling. I mean, that's the whole story here. He's got to win for his own ego, but Daniel Bryan, he's the better technician. So what does the Miz do? He went outside, Maurice gave him some brass knucks, he punched Daniel in the head, and that's it. You can't get up when you get punched in the head with steel. Feud can go on. Miz has reasons to gloat. Daniel Bryan has reasons to be pissed off. Wholesome wrestling all around. Right, if you did watch my SummerSlam predictions, you will have seen that I made a little joke that maybe WWE would just send Finn Balor out there as the demon, because why not? Who needs hype anymore? We can do whatever we please. That actually happened. Just getting up. Now, yes, I would have preferred even the tiniest clue before this, just so we could have enjoyed the feud a little bit more, because let's face it did lose steam. But in terms of SummerSlam, this was great. It was a surprise, it gave Finn momentum, and it allowed him to beat Baron Corbin in no time at all. I mean, I think he literally got in the ring, hit a sling blade, hit a dive, hit a drop kick, hit the coup de grace, and then it was over. Finn Balor won. Sweet, I can get behind that, especially on a 5-hour plus show where I want you to change the pace up. This changed the pace up, so I've got to salute WWE and say this was brilliant booking. I'm very impressed. I'm very proud of you. Also, it got a reaction. Sometimes a reaction is all we actually need. There was a tease for Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella taking on the Miz and Maurice next, and I don't know how I feel about that just because it makes no sense in terms of the storyline. Why would two guys that probably hate each other then want to get other people involved when they should just want to beat each other up within an inch of their lives? I mean, I'll see what's going to happen, but in context, that ain't make no sense. Down. Shinsuke Nakamura against Jeff Hardy for the US title followed, and if I was doing these live, I would actually turn to the comments and say, you can decide this, because it wasn't up, the match was fine, but the crowd just didn't care because they were so exhausted, so that would be a down. However, I've run it through my brain, it's going to get an up. It did hurt the overall feel, because as I said, the audience was exhausted by this point, and as for Jeff Hardy, my gosh, I think the man must want to kill himself. He's 40 years old, and on this evening, he did a swanton bomb onto the apron because Nakamura moved out the way. That poor man's back. That was all the champ needed to take advantage though, because he just rolled Hardy's dead ass back into the ring, hit the Kinshasa, and that was it. He retains the title. Then Randy Orton came out. He surveyed the situation as if he was some kind of health and safety officer. Then he left. Cheers, Randy. Thanks for that. Was this voices in your head? It went, oh, Randy, go out to the ring. And then you did, and realized you looked like a fool, so you went back. I don't know what this was. I do know, never shaken Randy Orton's hand. Ronda Rousey versus Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Championship now, and it happened. I said I wanted it to happen. I'm pleased it did happen. Yeah, no. What am I talking about? Well, this was basically a squash match, and it may be one that you're out there thinking, this doesn't help Alexa Bliss at all, and I disagree. We have seen Ronda Rousey take other women apart for real in the UFC, so why can't we do it here? And you can't pretend it didn't work. Now, Ronda Rousey looks more like a badass than she ever did. Ronda basically had an answer for everything Alexa threw at her, and we had that really cool ending, because when Ronda did lock in that armbar, Alexa Bliss has got that weird double jointed stuff, so it looked like the now champ had broken her damn arm. It looked disgusting, but it also looked great, and the Bellas were at ringside for this, so that's more seed planting here. And we had a very nice emotional moment where Ronda Rousey hugged Natalya, and that made me feel good, and I watch wrestling to feel good. How can anyone be upset with this? And also, yeah, at SummerSlam, which is the second biggest pay-per-view in the WWE calendar, mainstream star Ronda Rousey wins the Raw Championship. And I've seen some people going, you can't just have her come in and run through everyone. That never works. It does. His name was Goldberg, and really we should do it more. Which brings us to the main event, and boy howdy, this could have gone badly, couldn't it? We were all worried, but from my vantage point, I think fair play again. WWE, you did everything right, yeah, no. The intrigue was introduced straight away because Braun Strowman came out and he said, whichever one of you two fools wins, I'm coming down there and I'm cashing in my Money in the Bank briefcase. So all of a sudden, as fans, we could enjoy the match, but also keep looking over there like, oh, what's he gonna do? What's he going to do? That's smart booking right there, because it gives you something to cheer, even if you just wanted to boo Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. On top of that, this was all pretty damn fast, which kept people occupied even more. The twist coming when Brock Lesnar just decided, I'm going to go beat up Braun Strowman for a while. He gave him an F5, and then he picked up his briefcase, and he threw it so far away, I actually think it's still moving now. It was like that time with Lesnar in the car door. Dude, you gotta stop doing this. One day you're gonna hit somebody in the crowd, and that's gonna be bad. Lesnar shouldn't have done that though, because it allowed Roman Reigns to recover, and as the Beast got back in the ring, the big dog hit him with a spear. Finally, Roman Reigns is the new Universal Champion, and all this nonsense, all this back and forth that we've had to see WWE management doing is put to bed. Whether you like it or not, this has got to be the right decision, because one, the Universal title is now back on Raw, and two, finally whatever hard-on Vince McMahon had for this can calm down again, and whatever happens when an erection dies. Why am I making penis references? Admittedly, the camera did cut away from all of this as soon as humanly possible, I imagine, to try and keep the boos as low as possible, but it doesn't matter. This is how SummerSlam 2018 should have ended, and when it was all said and done, I look back and went, that may have been a 5-hour show, maybe a bit longer, but it was damn entertaining, which proves when WWE wants to do it, they can. And they ain't got no excuse, WWE. If you raise the bar, you can't lower the bar, because that don't make no sense. So yeah, I'm indeed throwing my hat into that I liked SummerSlam ring, which will surprise nobody, because I'm a positive chap, but I think it exceeded expectations. That's what I think. I may even go back and watch a few of the matches again. And that is a testament to a damn good wrestling show. Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you thought about last night's SummerSlam 2018. Like, share, and subscribe. Head over to WhatCulture.com, where you can read more articles about SummerSlam and the fallout. Follow WhatCulture on Twitter at WhatCulture WWE. My name is Simon from WhatCulture. Thank you for watching, and we've got a cool week lined up now, because Raw's going to be interesting and SmackDown's going to be interesting, so make sure you come and up those downs with me for those respective shows. Disappear. Don't have magic powers. Who does have magic powers? Bray Wyatt. He's got magic powers. He could disappear. I think Papa Shango disappeared once. Just walk off. It's going to make the lights up a bit, but I'll walk off. Don't usually do that. There you go. Look, shadows. I'll see you. Yeah. Thanks. Bye.